EastEnders icons Mick Carter and Kat Slater could be set to team up in upcoming scenes on the BBC soap as the plan to take down Janine Butcher once and for all. Mick, played by Danny Dyer, has taken a shining to Janine, Charlie Brooks, since she returned to EastEnders earlier this year. The pair have become quite the force to be reckoned with behind the bar of the Queen Vic, and they've even devised a plan to bring down Peter Beale, Dale Hudson, from the pedestal he's put himself on. However, Kat, Jessie Wallace, has failed to see any good in the villainous character on the BBC soap, and as she realizes the pub landlord might be falling for Janine's charms, will she tell him a few home truths, leading them to plan a devious case of revenge. The drama will begin when Mick and Janine continue to grow closer next week as they plan to make this the best Christmas yet for the Queen Vic. As they open up to one another, the mother of one begins to talk about her young daughter, Scarlett Butcher, Tabitha Byron, and how distant she feels from her. Having 5 children of his own who have all had their troubles in the past, the pub landlord can relate to the villainous character. Wanting to ensure his new friend is able to enjoy the festive season with her child, he explains he will help the two of them become closer again. This is a gesture which really touches Janine, and she is over the moon the landlord is willing to help her with her plight. Although he is happy to help Janine, Mick soon realizes his plans are going to backfire when he starts talking to Kat. Knowing the landlord might not know the full extent of his employee's past, the mother of 5 fills him in on a few points. Being the mother of Scarlett's brother, Tommy Moon, Sonny Kendall, the iconic character feels she has to protect the young schoolgirl at whatever costs. Following his conversation with Kat, Mick tells Janine he might not be able to help her with her daughter after all. This is a huge blow to the villainous character who thought she had found an ally in her new boss, but he begins to think he shouldn't have offered his help at all. What could have happened in his discussion with Kat is Mick could have learnt of all the people Janine has hurt on the square. Having a murderer behind his bar could have put the landlord on edge, and so he and Kat could have discussed how to approach getting their revenge on Janine. Knowing she has the ability to lose her cool at any second, they could have agreed to let her down gently about the Scarlett situation. However, knowing she also needed to be taught a lesson, Kat could have told the pub owner to keep her on as a barmaid. This way, she and Mick would be able to build more of a bond, and she might begin to open up about some other things from her past. Wanting to get Janine put away for a very long time for her actions in the past, Mick could begin to record their conversations. Weeks could pass and all they would have is mundane stuff about her life on the square as a child and her admiration for her father. Kat would begin pressing the landlord for information on those she has killed, and as he drops the name of her victims into the conversation, Janine could take the bait. As she confesses her sins to her new friend, which she thinks is without judgment, he could get it all on record. Going to the police with the new information, could this be the moment Mick and Kat nail the villainous character for good? The actress who plays Janine, Charlie, has teased what's to come for her character as she tries to settle back into life on the square. She said, "There's a period of familiarizing herself and figuring out who is useful to her and who is disposable. I did a great character session with the producers and writers on who Janine is now and who she might come up against, who she'd enjoy a night out with and how she'd respond in certain situations. In doing that I was reminded of the trouble she's caused for other characters, and there are quite a few I hadn't even remembered. There is so much scope, but we can't have all these explosions at once, so it'll be a slow burn with revisiting some grudges, like Stacy for instance. But there are definitely fireworks ahead, she told RadioTimes.com. However, if Janine discovers she has been double-crossed by Mick, the man she thought was her friend, he could be in danger. Although she has tried to turn her life around, Janine has always had a sense of hatred running through her veins, especially for men. If she is let go by the police, despite Mick and Kat's best efforts to send her to jail, she could come looking for revenge herself. Even though Kat was a big part of her downfall, it would be Mick who committed the biggest betrayal, so could he be next on her hit list.